A lot of people talk about getting sober like it's over. It's the finish line. We're done. No more fun. When actually, it's the starting line. It's the beginning. Nobody ever told me what's waiting on the other side. You're too miserable. You don't want to hear it. You just don't want to see it like that. So you just go through a day miserable. You're doing what people tell you to do. What happens eventually is you're confused, you're angry, you hate this, and it's a battle that you fight every day. I don't want to pick up a drink, but I do. Then you slowly realize it can be good. Not just bearable, but it can be good. And you feed off of that. And if you're working or you're not talking to somebody that has this experience, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you have somebody that's been around a long time and that can help you out, stick with them. And they'll help you get through the tough spots. I say this because I had a guy that was many, many years sober. And he helped me get through the tough spots. And going through Catholic schools and the religion, church, um, our lives evolved around that. I had I had no idea really what it was all about. It was just God, Jesus, the church, Bible study. And I was young. And I didn't want to know any of this, but it was drilled into my head and it was part of my life. I didn't really enjoy life until something was taken away, and that was booze and drugs. And I found things that were good, and it came in little dribs and drabs, and that's what kept me hanging on. My father being an alcoholic and got sober before I did, I moved out at a young age when he was sober for a little while. I didn't know how to deal with him. And I was the same way. When I started to drink, I started to drink heavy, became alcoholic. My father never pushed me, but told me you should do something about it. And him and I were at odds with each other. And I mentioned before that him and I built a place up in Maine. And that was one of the greatest gifts I ever got in sobriety. And then and only then did I realize there's something very good that came out of all this pain. And that was a connection to my father. I found out things about him that I never knew that we talked about. And he loved fishing and hunting and taught it to me when I was a kid. And I loved it too. I loved it when I was young and we had that commonality, if you would. And it was very, very enjoyable being with a father that showed you those kind of things and how to enjoy paddle a boat, how to set up a tent. I loved that. And he did too. And I think that with the drinking, all that went away. We didn't have that connection. I didn't know who he was after a while. And he didn't know who I was. And he saw me get on the same road and it broke his heart. And when I finally did get sober, it was very difficult. I didn't like it. But I found a man that was my dad, and he was someone I didn't know. I had to grow up and go through this and find out what he was all about. And I'm so thankful that I did. because before he passed away, him and I had something that was really, really valuable. I had a father and he had a son. It's very difficult to explain this, but for people that are just starting to get sober, all these little things, and they're not little things, they turn out to be big things. And then you get very grateful for it, and then you get older and you understand how important it was. And you're not stuck someplace. And it lights you up and you feel it in your heart. It's something that I guess the best way to describe it is complete elation, knowing that's very, very special. And you're not going to find that again with anyone else. Getting sober is not the end of something, it's actually the very beginning. That's hard to comprehend when you're trying to get past it. But if you do this, stick it out, get sober, keep trying every day, you got to do this. You got to thank the God that you believe in, that you're here, even though it's painful and you think it's stupid, but you don't have any choice, or you'd be living out in the street. It will, it will come. That peace, that happiness, that contentment will change your life forever. Thanks.